Oh my gosh, so I had this nightmare last night and it had the Mad Hatter in it and he killed Dee and me. But I mean, he didn't really kill us because I mean, we're sitting here, but...
Hello, my little Luxes. Welcome back to another episode of Luxy Charms. And I am your host, cosplayer Chelsea Lux. Now, don't be fooled by my white rabbit outfit, due to the fact that we just got done having Easter. No, the month of April is not focusing around Easter horror. No, for the month of April, we are actually celebrating and focusing around the theme of Alice in Wonderland horror. So please come join me as we get to celebrate the theme of Alice meets Malice. And what better way than to open it up and to talk about a horror movie that is themed around the idea of Alice in Wonderland. I am doing a movie review on the 2010 film Alice in Murderland. Now I'm changing things up a little bit to the topic at hand a lot quicker, so instead of me reading off a plot synopsis or giving the cast and the crew of the film, we'll have a link down below that will connect you to IMDb or Wikipedia that will give the cast and the crew, give a plot synopsis, but I will give a spoiler alert and viewer discretion is advised. Now, I think we're going to be a little surprised by this movie review. It's not going to be like my usuals. Like I said, changing things up a little bit. We open up Alice in Murderland being introduced to Alice's mother, who is just on her 21st birthday. And in the town that they live, there is a famous loft that, or I should say, was a warehouse for selling sewing machines that was changed into a house, a loft type idea. Alice's mother decides that she really wants to see the glass house because it was very famous in the area.
No, I'm recently married. I have a 1-year-old. We just moved here to bring up our child in a nice town.
Who said it was a nice town?
However, when she goes into the loft, she sadly never makes it back out alive. Someone decided to ask her a few questions one too many times. So we then move 20 years into the future, or I guess it should become the present time at that point. Now, present time 2010, so different time, different style. Hard to believe that it's already been 10 plus years since then, but so then we are introduced to Alice and her sorority sisters, or who are supposed to be her close friends at the time. And they are all hanging out and discussing and making plans for Alice's big 21st birthday. But because of the fact that Alice's name is Alice, her best friend Mallory decides, hey, let's do it as a themed birthday. We gotta go big because it's the 21st. And that for the themed birthday, it was going to center around Alice in Wonderland.
Hey, we should have a theme party.
That's a bad idea.
No, actually, I was thinking we could have an Alice in Wonderland party.
But it was going to be no boys, no guys are allowed to this party, for the fact that one of the sorority sisters by the name of Tiffany, who was a very bitchy character, I might add, that she started dating Alice's ex-boyfriend, Matt. So to make sure that Alice's ex-boyfriend wasn't invited or along to make things feel a little bit more awkward, they just made the stipulation that no guys were allowed except for Mallory's uncle.
Did I mention that you're invited?
You mean I'm invited to a party at my own place?
Okay.
What comes into play is the fact that the glass house, or the glass warehouse, loft, whatever you want to call it, that it got sold to Mallory's uncle, Renee White, So it comes into play that if you think about that their last name is White, that Mallory's character becomes the White Rabbit, which is the inspiration for my costume today. That, yes, I am indeed the White Rabbit. Although she doesn't do a good job of her interpretation, because she becomes the Black Rabbit instead of the White, because black looked better. I don't know, I don't have a problem with white. That this building has such famous history, not only for the fact of its original history of being the glass house and the old sewing room warehouse, but also it was made famous because of Alice's mother's murder 20 years prior.
Okay, so guess what? My uncle just bought the glass place, and I was thinking we could ask him if we could have the party there.
And me too, Aunt Lena.
Yeah, the glass place is where Alice's mother was murdered. Probably not the best choice of a party for Alice.
So who in their right mind, especially if you're close friends with Alice, would you think, hey, my uncle just bought this warehouse and it's really fantastic and a perfect spot for Alice's 21st birthday. Let's go celebrate in the building where her mother was murdered. Huzzah! Each girl is assigned a different character from Alice in Wonderland. When the girls are all there, finally celebrating in their costumes and getting pumped up and ready for this birthday party, but strange and unfortunate things quickly start to take place. And there is another character, the Jabberwocky, who was not invited to come along, starts showing up and offing the girls one by one until you get to the climactic ending. Now, I am giving away the ending to this film. I will give an explanation to why I just do not care about giving away the ending to this film. So, come to find out that one of the sorority sisters with Alice happens to be the daughter to the woman who had murdered Alice's mother. This would be around the character Kat.
Alice is last.
Me?
And my mother was the one who killed your mother. It was all about your father, the man they both loved.
And the whole idea and the fact of why it happened is because Kat's mother was with Alice's father prior to him hooking up with Alice's mother. So Kat and Alice are essentially half-sisters. They don't really go into details about that too much, but they basically start saying how much things stay in the family, like mother-like-daughter type of ideas. Kat is revealed as the murderer, and that she's doing this as revenge, and that she found out because her mother had committed suicide and had left a note, and that after Kat had read the note and the truth about that she was the murderer to Alice's mother, she burned the note and kept everything a secret, and that she waited these long years to finally seek revenge for her mother. But then you also come to find out that another one of the sorority sisters is also another half-sister, and that she had a different father but same mother as Kat.
Don't be stupid, Samantha. She wants to kill us.
No, you don't understand. Ah! She's really my sister.
So these two sisters had planned this whole thing together, were working behind the scenes to start killing everyone one by one to have their revenge for their mother, and Alice was supposed to be the last one to die. And Alice ends up killing Kat so that she can save her best friend Mallory. Was just at the moment going to stab and kill Mallory.
You are a killer until your last breath. Just like me, Alice. You're insane.
But, you know, we get the really, really strange ending of basically it comes to the conclusion that Alice realizes that she's just as insane as what her two half-sisters, Kat and Samantha, were, with really, really strange, evil laughing? Insane laughing?
She said that just like her. I'm insane.
But that movie of Alice in Murderland. Alright, so we're skipping over the whole idea of trivia because from now on my trivia is going to start going to my shorts and being focused around that. But at the same time, this one really didn't have a lot of trivia, so I'll probably talk about some of the goofs that had happened in this film, some of the bloopers, that kind of stuff. I'm gonna go into my thoughts and my recommendations of this film, and for the first time ever on my show, on my channel here for Luxy Charms, I am going to give a negative review, and I do not recommend this film. And we're gonna put it with a new topic of saying, I watched it so that you don't have to, which is the whole reason of why I gave the full description of the film and I gave away the ending. And it's clunky. Like, it's probably the same problem that I always have if I've watched a bad movie or something that I don't care about. I will start describing it, and the way that I love to tell stories and make things just a little bit more exciting than what they are, that I might have made this seem a little bit better than what it was, but this was a very clunky film. And it's got a very low rating on IMDb, like below a 2. It's like 1.5 or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but at the same time, it really doesn't matter. It's not a good film. And it took a lot for me to get through it the first time, and I watched it the second time to pick up the things that I missed. And it was a struggle. I'm like, dear Lord. So I'm glad that my next movie that I'm going to be covering is recommended by my friend Jeff, that he had recommended Alice in Terrorland. So we're beginning with a bad, and like I said, this is the first time I'm actually giving a negative review and saying, don't watch this. You are going to party up with some friends and just want to watch something so ridiculous and just want to make fun of it. That would be the way to go. Like, honestly. Like, I wish I would have watched this with my movie group so that we all could have been like, what the hell am I watching? But the dialogue is atrocious. It's cookie cutter characters that I would have thought of something that if I would have wrote a play in junior high, which I have done, that it be those kinds of characters where it's like, you must have that ditzy, stupid character.
You got in a scuffle with Andrew?
Hey, what's a scuffle?
You must have that bitchy character who thinks she's the best at everything.
I don't do sharing.
Yeah, we don't do sharing.
You must have that best friend who is your perfect wingman. You must have that person who is the fighter and the antagonist type of character, the aloof character, the druggy character. I mean, as cookie cutter as you can get. But dear Lord, it's one of those where I'm like, I had high hopes for it. It's a cute concept and idea. There was a review that said it perfectly. That it felt like one weekend a group of friends just looked at each other and said, hey, let's all get together and just make a movie, and just winged it. It's not to say that the actresses and the few actors that were in it, that they did a bad job. They were given really piss poor dialogue, like really bad. And none of it made sense, and all of these girls are in college, supposed to be intelligent, and who in their right mind would decide, let's have a themed birthday party at the place where the main character's mother was murdered? Like, none of it makes sense. Like, I can understand if it was the fact that the two half-sisters were trying to push it. I think the whole idea on the premises was around Mallory and the fact that because it was her uncle's warehouse that she made the choice and decision. Maybe Kat's character in the background. Like I said, I don't really care to watch it over again to get the exact reference and point of thinking, but it's like, it's just too clunky, even for me. Like, it was done to be serious, but it shouldn't have been. It should have been more along the humor, and what humor it did have was just dumb, because like I said, everything was stereotypical, everything was cookie cutter. So then you had to have those stereotypical cat fights, and where these girls were just fighting for no reason at all, and there was a rule also that they couldn't take their cell phones with them to the party, which I never understand references like that. So one of the cat fights starts because obviously Kat destroys the cell phone from Tiffany, who's the bitchy character.
It's all yours.
Which it makes sense once you know the premises and everything for it, that Kat wouldn't want cell phones to be there, but the rule was made by Alice and Mallory. It's weird. There's so many plot holes and it doesn't make sense, and there's no actual explanation, and at the same time by the end there's too much explanation. Like, it feels like you're having a big reveal about the murderer several times. It's like they have to have the big reveal over and over and over again for every single character, and then you have it again with the next sister, and it's like, here's a reveal, here's another reveal, here's the reveal again, and then this reveal.
Oh my god.
Oh, Lordy.
And my mother was the one who killed your mother. It was all about your father, the man they both loved.
She's really my sister. Kat's my sister, older by a year. Same mother, different father. Our mother was a whore. She killed your mother, committed suicide. Kat and I have a theory. Insanity runs in the family.
With Alice being like, oh, I'm just like my family, and I'm insane, and I'm a killer because I killed Kat, and once a killer, always a killer. Does this typical cookie cutter idea of, I'm insane now, I'm going to start laughing maniacally, like, I've lost my mind, and it's just like, too sober for that. And to be fair, I really haven't drank that much. I think the last time I had a drink was when we watched Grabbers for the FFB movie night group. So I definitely was not drunk enough for this. But yeah, it's just, I don't recommend. And like I said, I watched this tragedy so that you don't have to. And I feel bad for the director, writer. You know me. I love B-rated horror. I love bad B-rated horror. I eat it up for breakfast. Those are my comfort films, and this was not it. So there you have it. For the first time ever in my show, this is a negative review, and I don't recommend. Highly don't recommend. Do not. Just don't. There was a cute idea and concept to this. This could have been well done. And like I said, I don't blame the actors. It's just the dialogue was just so bad. And not like cheesy bad in a good way. It just was bad. Thank you so much for joining me here on another Luxy Charms, and I hope you will be enjoying this month's theme of Alice Meets Malice. And I'm looking forward to watching Alice in Terrorland. I ended up buying that one on DVD. I have the physical copies, so I'm hoping to get a lot of behind-the-scenes information as well. They've been changing things up for newer films lately, that because of streaming and that, it's also killing the extras and specials that are added to DVDs and Blu-rays. So I'm hoping this one has it. As my husband put it perfectly, he's like, you can find something good in any film. He's like, especially when it comes to horror. And he's like, if you don't like it, it's bad. And like I said, I will even tell people when I'm watching a bad movie and I know it's a bad movie, and I'll say, I love it. This is just stupid fun. This was just stupid. I mean, if you want to look at a whole bunch of hot chicks in cute little Alice in Wonderland costumes, go for that. And if you want to watch them all die of really dumb, stupid ways, go for that. Anyway, anyway, thank you so much for joining me here on another Luxy Charms, and we'll keep continuing having fun this month, feeling better. I don't know what the weather is doing though, because we had better weather in February. It's like February and April decided to high-five each other and say tradesies because we have had snow, we're having flooding right now, and I haven't been able to go out for a hike because the weather has been so bad. But anyway, things will turn around at some point, and we'll keep looking at things in a positive way. Spring is technically here, even though it doesn't feel that way. Would like to follow me on any of my other social medias or come join my Patreon, which helps me out immensely in support of my show and my cosplays. There will be a link down below. You can see a shout out to my fellow Patreon members and a special thank you and welcome to Kurt. Welcome to my Patreon, to my ultimate Luxes. And remember, I am the Afterlife the Party, but I would love for you to come join me in the Afterlife the Party. And always remember to slay, subscribe, like, and always be yourself. And remember to love yourself. In the end, all we truly have is ourselves. I know that my next review will be a much better one since it was highly recommended to me, and great big special shout out to my buddy Jeff, and he put it on my radar because he had posted it on our lovely platform of X, formerly known as Twitter, whatever the hell we want to call it at this point. But until next time, my little Luxes, I hope you have a Luxy Charms kind of day. Bye!